Hey, I'm Ellie, and we're going to practice some yoga. So, for today's class, you do want to have some blocks or something that can stand in the place of blocks, and maybe a strap. We're going to start standing at the top of our mat and find yourself balanced between both feet. So, that sometimes takes a little bit of shifting around, maybe front to back a little bit, and side to side. Good. And then once you're starting to feel into the whole sole of the foot on the floor, really try pressing down. Think about lifting your kneecaps, which if I think about that, nothing really happens. But what I mean by that is flex the quads slightly, engage through them. Yeah. And then lift up the front of the pelvis just slightly, so that you're giving a little bit of space in the low back. Great. Then we reach the arms up and clasp the palms together overhead and press away at the ceiling. Let the shoulders come up towards the ears for now. And then lean back any amount, trying to lift the heart, trying to keep that same engagement with the front, so not suddenly losing the front lift of the pelvis. Good. And then we're going to lean way over to one side. You can play with your shoulder coming down or turning the heart up. And we'll roll through midline to the other side. Switch the clasp of the hand so that the other thumb is on top and then the fingers follow. You might turn down with the shoulder and then the heart up. You might be holding one steady. Roll yourself back through center to the other side. Return to standing up tall, letting the hands separate. Let the hands come down towards shoulder height. Really press away here. Shoulders are dropping down the back body, so your collarbones can feel really broad. Good. And then turn your palms up, bend the elbows. Try to reach the thumbs back behind you slightly. It might feel really nice to look side to side here. Let the hands come all the way down and clasp them together behind the back. Think about pressing into your feet again, engaging through the quads. Lift the front of the pelvis, and then reach the knuckles down towards the floor. Letting the heart, the collarbones, widen and lift. And then maybe you could reach your arms back behind you a little bit. And we'll fold over here. Shake the head out, yes and no. Come up halfway, switch which thumb is on top again. Reach the knuckles down, lift the arms, and let that lifting tip you over into a fold. Open and close the jaw. Shake the head around. Good. And then release the hands down and sit back into the invisible chair behind you. So try to move your knees back so that they're starting to stack over your ankles instead of coming way forward over your toes. And then see if you could lift from the front of your pelvis to your navel and then from your navel to your heart. So the whole front body is actively lifting as you're sitting down. Now pull that low belly in just slightly so that we're still lifting up the front of the pelvis and giving a little space in the low back. Hands can stay at heart center or could reach up here. If you reach your arms up and then you find yourself starting to drop out of the pose, then let the hands come back down so that you don't sway back and so it can feel strong and lengthened here. I was going to say strong and long, but I didn't really want to rhyme. So strong and lengthened. There you go. If your arms are up, bring them back down to the heart. Hopefully through all this talking, your legs are starting to burn. It's good. We want to work on this a little bit today. So while you're sitting down, you're going to keep your standing leg, and that'll make sense in a second, exactly where it is, same shape it's in, and just lift up with your right foot and step back. Good. Keep that standing leg, which is this front leg, because you're going to shift towards the front again. Keep that standing leg, that static leg, right where it is, and step the back foot forward. Try that again. Right foot goes back and comes forward. So notice as you take this motion that standing leg hip wants to swing out slightly, and actively engage it to stay in so that you're moving straight back and straight forward. Maybe one more. Good. And then step back, drop onto the back heel of that right foot, and come down with the left hand inside the left foot. So you might come to a block, you might come to the floor. You're going to place that left hand inside the left foot, and you're going to let the right hand move around in a big circle, starting by reaching forward, coming as high as you can, and then reaching back behind you. We'll make that circle 3 times. And after the 3rd time through, you'll reach the right arm up until it's straight out from the left. So your shoulders are stacking. Press into the back foot. Turn the heart up any amount. Good. Bring the right hand down to face the floor. Spin off of the back heel. And we're going to come down onto the back knee. Let the top of the back foot press into the mat very firmly, and move your pelvis down towards the floor. You might stay here with the hands on the floor or on blocks. You might come up to your knee. You might reach your arms up. Wherever you are, notice you could pull that low belly in a little bit as you continue to sink the pelvis down towards the floor. Good, and then let the right hand come inside the left foot this time. And the left hand to the knee, press into both so that you can twist. Once again, moving shoulders towards stacking, but facing your leg this time. The left hand returns to the floor. Curl the back toes under, lift off the knee, and step forward to your fold. Bend one knee and then the other, just shaking out the hips, releasing some of the tension in the leg. It was doing some work. And then once again, we're going to sit back into our invisible chair behind us, lifting through the whole front body, hands to the heart. And this time, let your right leg be your standing leg, and step the left foot back, and then forward, keeping that right leg exactly where it is, where that's the goal. Trying to keep the right hip from swinging out as you step back. Good. And then step back with the left foot, drop onto that left heel. Come inside the right foot with the right hand, floor or block here. And then we'll take those rotations with our arm again. So the left arm is going to reach forward as high as it can go, as big of a circle, back behind you, and then 3 times through. And after that 3rd time, we'll stop with our shoulders stacking, left arm's reaching up above the right arm, shoulder blades pull together, and turn the heart up any amount. Good. And then turn to face the floor. Set your block aside, maybe in a handy spot, so that you can spin off of the back heel. Come down on the back knee. Let the top of the back foot press into the floor and the pelvis move towards the floor. So here you might be on blocks with your hands, just like before. You might come up to your knee. You might reach the arms up. So finding the appropriate pose for your practice today. Keep pressing to the top of the back foot, engaging through that leg, and let the pelvis move towards the floor. Pull the low belly in slightly. And then the left hand comes inside the right foot. Right hand to the knee, press into both to find your twist. Place both hands down on the floor, shoulders width distance apart. Curl off the back knee so that you're on your toes. Step back, find your plank. And then come down onto the forearms. Have the elbows right underneath your shoulders, and the hands ideally are coming straight out from the elbows, so not tenting in towards one another. Press firmly down into the palms and into the forearms. Separate the shoulder blades, pull your low belly in, and then here, try to find an internal rotation with your legs. So if you had a block between them, which if you have one, you might place it between your thighs. And if you don't, you can just imagine. And then squeeze that block and roll it up and back behind you as you continue to press firmly in the floor with the forearms and palms. Good. If you are using the block, remove it from between your legs. And then come down to the knees. Walk the hands forward so that the forehead can come down to the mat, finding a puppy pose. Keeping your firm pressure down. Had to figure out how to say that. Keeping firm pressure down in your palms so that you stay engaged through the underarms. If you prefer, you can come down on the heart and the chin. Good. And then from your lengthened place, we're going to find a twist. So threading the right arm underneath the left. Breathing into your shoulder. And switching sides when you're ready. Good. And then coming all the way down onto your belly, letting the hands come along your side body. Forehead will press down towards the floor. And then just lift the right leg as high as it'll go. And set it down. And then lift the left leg as high as it'll go. And set it down. And do that again. Good. And then keeping the toes pressed to the mat this time. We'll inhale, lifting the heart, reaching the hands towards the heels, trying to tuck the chin so that you're making a triple chin here. Reach, 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 the hands back, press down into the toes. And once again, think about an internal rotation in the legs. Yeah. And then look over the right shoulder, reach a little more with the right hand. Look over the left shoulder, reach a little more with the left. And do that again. Good. And then plant your hands underneath your shoulders. Curl your back toes under. Either press back to child's or press up and back, down dog. From your child's pose, if you're there, you'll curl your toes under, lift the hips up and back, and find a down dog. Play around here for a moment. This is the first one we've come to in this practice. So you might pedal through the heels or swing your hips side to side. Shake around through the head. Play with the rotation in the shoulders. So maybe you're externally rotating. Maybe you're internally rotating. Play around. Good. And then we'll walk the hands towards the feet, towards the fold, the back of the mat. Shake the head yes and no. You might hook your thumbs behind the ears and one little tension on the neck. Place the hands down on the floor. Walk yourself back out, finding a plank pose. Good. We're just going to play in our plank for a second. Shift the weight into the right palm. Lift up the right foot. Maybe lift up the left hand. Good. And then set that down. Shift the weight to the left palm. Lift the left foot. Maybe lift the right hand. Good. Set that down. Come back down to the knees. We're going to find another twist. So from our knees, hips stacked, try to bring your right armpit or elbow as close to that right knee as you can. Finding a twist here. You can stay with your left hand on the floor. You could reach it up, place it on your sacrum, or maybe reach it around to your other thigh, or let it hang overhead, whatever feels the most appropriate for you. Switch sides whenever you're ready. Elbow or armpit as close to that right knee as you can, and then finding the appropriate place for your right hand to go. Good. Unwinding. Hands plant underneath the shoulders. Curl the toes under. Hips go up and back. Down dog. Good. This time walk the feet towards the hands, towards a forward fold at the top of the mat. Bend the knees, sit back into your invisible chair once again. Lift up through the front body, hands together at the heart. And we'll bring that right elbow as close to the left knee as we can, trying to press it in there. If this is not available, you could put your left palm on the top of your thigh and the right hand to the outside of the knee and give yourself a lovely spacious twist this way. Allow your right knee to come forward as you're twisting here. So the left foot is once again going to be our standing leg. So try to hold your torso and your left leg exactly as you can and see if you could step the right foot back. Balance is tricky here, and then step the right foot forward. So you might be up high here, still playing with this twist as we move through, let's say three times. And then we'll return to center. And this time place the left knee or the left elbow on the right knee as we twist towards the right. Shift the weight into the right foot. Step back with your left foot. Step forward. Try to hold that torso and the right leg just as they are. 3 times through. Good. And then return to center. And gratefully stand up and shake out the legs. So what I'd like for us to do is play with a little forearm balance. This might not be for everyone, and that's fine, but we're just going to play around a little bit today. So from our chair pose, I'm going to face you to show the first option. From our chair pose, we're going to sit back. We're going to bring the hands together at the heart, and we're going to turn and place our right elbow on the left knee. So if you're not here, then you're probably not going to take the next step. We're then going to separate our hands so that they're shoulders width distance and come up onto our toes as we turn and place our palms on the floor. So now I've got my right elbow into my left knee, and I can bend both elbows and maybe shift my weight onto that elbow. And if you come up into that little balance, you could kick your legs around, or whatever you might want to do to play. Doesn't matter. Just kind of seeing if we can balance there, seeing if this twist is available, the openness through our hips and our back. That's one option. The other option is you can use 2 points of contact instead of just all of that weight on your elbow. So you could place your right elbow into the left knee and place your left elbow into the left hip. So I'm still shoulders width distance with my hands. If I was in my chair pose, I'd turn and I'd place both elbows where I'd like them before I start. And then I'll come onto my toes, crouching towards the floor, place the hands down, and I can just tip my weight over onto the shelf of my elbows. Pretty fun place to be. So if you do one side, then try it on the other side. Playing around. You can decide if you want to kick your legs at all. Just showing you both options one more time through. If you're afraid, because that is legitimate, you could place a blanket so that you have something soft to tip over on if you're going to spill out of the pose, so that it helps you play around a little bit more with this. So, whenever you're done with that posture, I'd like for us to take a blanket or a pillow and sit up on the edge of it. And let our legs extend out from that seat. Great. And we're going to bend the right knee and place the sole of the right foot on the floor, about a hand's width distance between our left thigh and the right foot. And then we're going to come to the inside of this right leg and see if we can get our whole torso and belly around so that I can press the tricep into my shin here. So I might be here and reaching forward and rounding down, or you could turn that right thumb towards the floor, bend it around your knee, reach the left hand back and find a bind here. Now hug that knee towards your side body, round forward. Chin is pressed towards the collarbones, breathing into the back body. Releasing the bind. And we'll twist towards this bent knee now. So either hugging that right knee with the left arm and placing the right arm behind you to twist, or let the left tricep press into the top of your knee and find a twist here. Inhale to unwind yourself. Extend the right leg. Bend the left knee and place the sole of the foot about a hand's width distance from the inside of the right thigh. Bring the whole torso around and see if you could come in front of your shin with that tricep pressing in. Maybe you reach here and round down and breathe into the back body. A lovely spot to be. If you'd like to bind, turn the left thumb down towards the floor. Bend the elbow around the knee. Take a clasp with both hands. Releasing your clasp if you have it, coming up, either hugging this left knee with the right arm and placing the left hand behind you to twist, or press into the knee with the right tricep. Good. Removing the blanket. We'll bend the knees so the soles of the feet are on the floor, and we're going to take the backs of our thighs and then just round the spine here, tucking the chin, maybe giving yourself a couple of wiggles. Good. Just really like that to reset. And then we're going to let ourselves roll down to the floor. So you can extend your arms, you might extend your legs, and you'll roll yourself down. And then what I would like for us to do is to take a modified plow pose. And so we're going to see if we can roll up our legs and place our knees on our forehead. So it looks like this. Bent knees. Seeing if I can round them to my forehead. Hands can either be supporting you here or might reach out along the floor. And then I just give myself a little forehead massage, straightening slightly and bending into the knees. or just holding a static pose. A lot of compression here. Front body. Slowly rolling yourself down to the floor, one vertebra at a time to come out. Good. Extending the legs. Taking a moment to let the air come back into the body after all of that compression. And we'll take a half happy baby here. So bending the left knee, either hugging that knee in or maybe turning the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling and clasping the outside of the foot, the ankle, or taking the big toe with the pointer and middle finger. Pull down so that you're trying to move your knee to the outside of the left side ribs. Good. Releasing that, bending the right knee and either hugging that in towards the armpit or maybe taking your foot and turning the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling. Pull down here. Try to stay heavy through the whole sacrum, the whole spine to the floor as you pull that knee towards the right side ribs. Good. Both legs reach along the floor. And then we're going to roll over to our left side and bend our knees so that we're in a fetal position. And then reach the left arm out and place the right hand on top of it. Slowly we'll open that right arm and right shoulder to find a twist. Letting the right shoulder come down to the mat. Legs stay heavy where they are. Once again, I wanted to rhyme. Let the right hand reach towards the mat. Legs stay heavy where they're at. It's just that kind of practice, I guess, today. Good. Return the right palm to the left. Roll over to your other side. And then let the left hand slowly open as you find a twist on the second side. Roll your knees up so that you're once again on your back, placing the hands on the knees and giving yourself a couple of big stirs, massaging the sacrum into the floor. And then finding a comfortable place for your Shavasana. So that might be just extending the legs, the hands come down, palms up towards the sky. That might mean supporting yourself under your knees with a blanket or a bolster placed there. Letting yourself rest for a few moments here. If you are able, continuing to rest in your Shavasana. If you need to move on with your day, gently beginning to wake yourself up, taking your time, and make your way to one side or the other. You'll use the strength in your arms to lift you up to a comfortable seat. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope you are doing well and that you stay well. Namaste. Thanks. I hope you all had fun.